So the oceans surrounding Skyrim are a terrifying place that is home to a large variety of sea creatures, or, well, actually it's only a few of them that are actually in the game, but within the Elder Scrolls lore, there are many nightmarish entities lurking beneath the ships that sail around between the different provinces of Tamriel. In my last Skyrim video, we actually explored a Lovecraftian quest mod that sent us into the ocean's depths to discover a possible strange anomaly in an underwater cavern. Although this mod wasn't a crazy combat field or survival horror experience, it did touch on some unexplored areas of Skyrim while giving us a very well-written, creepy story to go alongside it. So I decided to go back and check out some more of Nimwraith's quest mods to see what other horror or Lovecraftian stories that they might have crafted up. Which brings us to today's video, where we will be checking out a lore-friendly and creepy tale from an Argonian fisherman named Slays Many Beasts, who once sailed the seas of Tamriel to slay many of the ocean's monstrosities that tormented merchant vessels, only to come across one creature that was so terrifying that after barely escaping with his own life, he decided to abandon that old life and live out the rest of his days in peace as a simple fisherman. Honestly, I'm surprised that he even bothers to get that close to the ocean to begin with, but this quest mod isn't full of places to explore or strange enemies to defeat, but rather just a somewhat lengthy story from the experiences of one of Skyrim's fishermen. So go grab your snacks, get comfy, and join me in listening to The Whispers of the Depths. I'm very curious what kind of stories of Elder Scrolls sea creatures and stuff we're actually going to hear from this, because I don't know many of the different sea creatures in the Elder Scrolls universe. I only know about like the slaughterfish and stuff, like the ones that you actually see in the games themselves. I think I came across a video once from, what was that YouTuber's name? It was like Imperial Knowledge, I think. And I think it mentioned something about a Leviathan, which would be really cool to have in an Elder Scrolls game, but I also would never want to see it because I have a strong fear of the ocean and I don't want anything to do with that. So I will never touch the ocean ever. Why is there a dragon? Can I do any of these quest mods without getting attacked by a dragon? All right, well, with the dragon dealt with, to start this quest mod, we actually got to go talk to Slay Many Beasts. I had to double check, but he's down here in the, I am absorbing a sword. He is down here by Solitude at the docks, so I think he's over this way. Slay Many Beasts. Let's talk to him real quick.
I've not seen you before. Welcome.
I'm Drovos. Who are you?
Slays many beasts. A fisherman, if you'd believe it.
I can believe it. I assume that wasn't always your job?
A good guess. Fishing is calming, but it is not what called to me in my youth.
Is that so?
I was a sailor for countless moons, manning the decks for a time, until I became a captain myself.
Impressive. I'm sure you have stories to tell. Yes, tell us of all of your creepy stories of the giant creatures in the ocean. I want to hear that.
I see what you're getting at.
The rain is so loud.
Very well. I'll tell you a tale that happened in this very land. We were sailing from High Rock all the way to Vardenfell, and as such, were forced to pass through the Sea of Ghosts.
That is a very long way.
It had been no more than a year since I had started sailing, and so I did not know the danger of these waters.
This is a really good voice actor, by the way. It seems like a common trend with Nimwraith's quests. They seem to know where to find some pretty good voice actors. I think this one's name is Alex Kane, for those who are interested. Stay silent.
For a time, it was eerily calm. We had not seen anything out of the ordinary, and despite my fears, we eventually settled into a routine. That was before a raging blizzard set in and halted us in our tracks.
A raging blizzard?
We reefed the sails, but before long, we realized we weren't alone.
Oh god.
To our left sat a colossal longship, twice the size of our own vessel.
Oh, is it a ghost ship? Oh, that's freaky. I mean, it is a sea of ghosts, so I mean, I guess so. I never would think about, like, blizzards, you know, if you're on a ship or something and you're sailing somewhere. I don't know. Like, I mean, that's an obvious thing. You know, it's just another weather phenomenon like, you know, tornadoes or something. But it's just like, I wonder how you would handle that. Because the winds are going to be dangerous. You're going to have hail and stuff to deal with. And then obviously snow piling up on the ship itself. I wonder if hail ever ripped through like the sails of a ship. I feel like if the winds were strong enough, it definitely could. Actually, if the winds were strong enough, they would just rip off the sails. That's terrifying to think about. Whose ship was it? Was it a ghost ship?
Not a crew of men. A crew of giants. We feared the worst, but its deck was empty, save for one figure. A behemoth, twice my height, if not more. In his hands rested an inhuman battle axe to match his hulking size.
Oh, that's crazy.
He stared right through me.
My torch died.
I believed I was dead, right then and there.
Why did you think the giants didn't attack you? That is crazy to think about. I mean, you know, I guess they do human things, or, you know, elf things or whatever. You know, they do things that Nern people do, but still, like, it's just weird. It's weird to think about. Why do you think the giants didn't attack you?
Just above the roar of the storm, we could hear distant cries of pain. One of the crew claimed they were hunting a whale. They said the giants tear them apart while they still live. A brutal end. But it ensured our survival.
Yeah, that is pretty intense. Sounds terrifying. The gods were on your side that day. Yeah, it sounds pretty terrifying.
It was. And that paralyzing fear has only infected me once more.
And when was that?
Not now. Please.
Okay. So that'll probably be the end of our little chat session. I'm just imagining, like, giants as pirates. Because if you come across a ship full of giants, you know that you're screwed. Like, if they manage to board your ship, like, there's nothing to do there. They can literally destroy the ship. Very easily, actually. What exactly was your job?
To hunt creatures of the sea.
Gotcha.
We would travel all over Tamriel, looking for realms plagued by these beasts. Then, we'd find and kill the creature.
I guess to make trade easier?
It was dangerous work, but it gave me plenty of stories to tell.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I guess they would need people to go out and do that because there's so much trade in like across Tamriel and everything, and the ocean has always been one of the best ways of transporting goods, especially with various parts of Tamriel. Like you got like Bettany and Aradon and like places like that where there are just massive islands. So if you wanted to do trade with them, you would need to cross the sea. But you got all these creatures and stuff living in them that can easily attack the ships, then yeah. These monsters, how did you fight them?
Different animals called for different tools. At times we used nets and our ballistae.
Oh my god.
Others, we used our bows and crossbows.
I mean, I guess you would need to, but it's just like crazy to think about with the ballistas, having to use those to hunt creatures. And I know in ESO there's a quest. I can't remember if it was a side quest or a main quest, but I'm pretty sure involving the Daggerfall Covenant. But it literally involves you getting on a ship and using ballistas and stuff to kill like a giant sea serpent. It's pretty sick. Can I hear more of your stories?
Another time. This old lizard needs some time alone. Come find me in Dawnstar.
Oh.
The fish up there are worth the gold.
Fair enough. All right, so we gotta travel over to Dawnstar. So it's not all gonna be taking place right here. For some reason, I thought it was just gonna all take place next to Solitude, but I guess that would make sense. All right, well, let's travel up to Dawnstar and see what other stories this dude has. God, this looks sick right now. Look at this. This looks so creepy. See, these are the only kind of fish that I can handle. I can't handle no giant sea serpents or leviathans or anything like that. Screw that, man. Oh, I can take a boat, says Dawnstar. Let's do that. 50 gold.
Climb on in the boat and get comfortable.
Climb on in the boat and get comfortable. Don't mind me. Just gonna sit down in the ferry. Take me to Dawnstar. So he said that we can find him at Dawnstar. So we're at Dawnstar currently. I'm assuming over here, probably on this ship or on like around this dock area. Yo, slays many beasts. Are you around? Yo, Dawnstarians. If that's what you guys call yourselves. You guys know where I can find an Argonian around here? No, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, he's over here. There he is. Slays many beasts. Come here. I want to hear more of your stories. I like how we're just like going across to all these different places in order to hear a story. Like, that's all that this entails, is that we just hear a story. But I guess that this is supposed to be more so like if you find yourself in Dawnstar or something, then you can talk to him and learn more about the story. Because this is definitely not like a typical quest mod, which is the case for many of this mod author's quests. They all seem like very immersive storytelling bits rather than actual straight up quest mods with objectives and places to go and explore and loot to get and all that kind of stuff. So
I take it you're here for more stories.
That's I am.
Listen, and I'll tell you about my time in Eleanor. We'd been resting in Skywatch for a time when a Dominion soldier asked for our services. We had some sense in us and saw how lucrative such a deal could be. And so, we agreed without hesitation.
What did they want you to kill?
A sea serpent. Colossal beasts with the strength to sink warships. This one had sunk a trading ship and had cost them a fortune in goods. And so, we were hired to kill it. It was a dangerous contract, but we all wanted Aldmeri gold, and we believed we were prepared.
What happened?
We eventually found where this beast had made its lair. However, the Thalmor forgot to mention that the beast had a rider.
Oh, what? The serpent had a rider?
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it either. The Malmer, sea elves, have command over some of their kind. They're used as reinforcements to their fleets, but the rider had run off with the beast. He'd been sinking all the trade vessels coming into Skywatch and stole all their goods, seeking to sell them elsewhere.
That's kind of crazy to think about, somebody taming. I mean, like, it's not unheard of that somebody has tamed a massive creature or anything in the Elder Scrolls universe, because I mean that happens actually quite often, especially in ESO. But just the thought of somebody like using it like a horse.
He knew the Thalmor had sent us, and wasted no time talking. The creature tore a hole in the side of the ship.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nearly killing a few of us. After more sustained damage, we managed to net its rider. As the serpent tried to free him, I shot the beast. The ballista bolt punctured its skull, and we finished off the rider not long after.
I mean, if they are anything, I know I keep on mentioning ESO, but if they are anything like the ones that we've seen in ESO, they are definitely pretty big. So I can only imagine coming across something like that when you're out in the ocean. Although I'm not sure what I would be more terrified of, if it would be the sea serpent or if it would be the massive ship with the giants. I feel like I would probably be more terrified of the giants if they're aggressive. How much gold did the Dominion give you?
The Thalmor may not be good people, but they paid handsomely for our services. They allowed me a few weeks of hot meals and warm beds.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you get paid. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Everybody in Skyrim, and you know, they're just trying to survive. So, which I guess at this time he wasn't in Skyrim, but still, like everybody in Tamriel is just trying to survive. So you really killed a sea serpent by shooting one bolt. I don't believe you. I mean, I could see that. Like if you shoot it in the head, right? Or like if it opens up its mouth and then you manage to get it through his mouth and then into the serpent's brain? Because I would assume that the scales and stuff would be pretty tough, but I mean, this is a ballista. This isn't like a bow and arrow.
You do, but I assure you I speak the truth. Our captain allowed me to keep the Malmer's sword as proof of my deeds. I still carry it to this day, more of remembrance than protection, I suppose.
You seem to love sailing. What made you stop? It's probably all the creatures.
Please, do not ask this again. I shall be in Windhelm if you wish to hear more of my tales.
I love that. It's like, don't, please, no. Don't tell me. Don't ask me anymore. But if you really want to hear, ask me more, but in a different place. If you ever find yourself in Windhelm. Yeah, this is a cool perspective of like hearing the tales of the different creatures and stuff out in the sea, because you don't really see. Oh, come on! Get away from me! Because you don't see any of the like the sea creatures or anything in the Elder Scrolls games outside of like the ones that are actually monsters, right? Or just the regular fish. So it's a cool perspective of hearing the tales of these things, because the only game that really has any sea creatures or anything is Elder Scrolls Online. That's the only one that's had any so far that has been outside of the dregs or the slaughterfish or just any of the other typical normal fishes. But this is a really cool perspective. I'm wondering if this is going to turn into like a Lovecraftian thing. I mean, there is a lot of Lovecraftian inspiration in Elder Scrolls, so I can definitely see it going that way, for sure. I guess now we got to make our way down to Windhelm. So I will see you guys in Windhelm. All right, we are in Windhelm, so we got to get over to the docks, which could involve me going all the way through Windhelm and doing all that good stuff. I'm not doing that. We're gonna take the express route. We jump over here, right here. This is the easiest way over to the docks, I find, rather than having to go all the way through. Boom! Look at that. And we are here. There he is. Slays many beasts. What tales do you have this time? You are about to fall off, man. You better chill. How's Windhelm been treating you?
I've been to countless places, and few have been as miserable as Windhelm.
Yes, that's
I
right.
wish to be anywhere but here. Perhaps even my homeland.
Yeah, anybody who's not a Nord, you're basically screwed in Windhelm. You never speak of it. Where are you from?
I am from Soulrest in Black Marsh.
Okay.
A beautiful city, but one riddled with unpleasant memories. Even still, the waters were warm and filled with life, and no Nords believed me to be a slave.
Is that how you started sailing? Because you love the water? I guess, yeah, I feel like that probably would be the answer. Like, how else would you get into sailing or anything? I guess unless you just need the money.
For a time I did. When I was a boy, I heard about hatchlings going missing in the water. Rumors of a sea drake. I was so scared that I didn't dare to touch any water, no matter how shallow.
Yeah, that's fair.
This fear stuck with me for years. The flooded caves I had once swore to delve into remained a mystery, and the fish I had once dreamt about slipped from my memory.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand that. I have a fear of the ocean, and like right here is saying, how did you overcome it? I don't plan to. I don't like the ocean. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not getting near it. So how did you overcome it?
I was 16 at the time, and still couldn't enter any water. That was until I saw a giant galleon in the harbor. It was fitted with 12 ballistae, and a monster I had never seen before served as their figurehead. On their deck lay the sea drake. I was old enough to leave home, and I wished for nothing more at the time. So after speaking with the captain, she let me on.
So they let on a teenager with a fear of the water.
That is what troubles you. Believe my tale or not, it matters little. That is the truth.
Just like that?
My parents weren't good to me. This was an escape. A chance at a better life. Allah, our captain, understood and let me on with little fuss.
Oh, I see. So that's how you joined them.
Indeed, though it wouldn't be many years before I returned.
Yeah, so it was basically him just kind of running away and the ship captain being like, yeah, look, I get it. I'll help you out. So how did you end up back in Blackmarsh?
We'd taken a job in Soulrest. Another sea drake had killed more citizens, and the ship had already been sunk. We sailed over there, I had thought it would be an easy job. The Drake was strong. It managed. Allah and a few others were killed. From there, I took command of the ship and continued our business.
I'm sorry, I can tell that she meant a lot to you.
Thank you. She was dear to me.
Can I ask what made you stop sailing?
We've spoken too long of misery. Let me rest. I'll be traveling to Solstheim soon. Speak with me there if you wish.
Alright, so we gotta go to Solstheim then. Yeah, these kind of mods are really cool because, like,
well.
even though you listen well, yes I do. Because like, I like when there's quest mods that add grand adventures and things, you know, more things to do in Skyrim because obviously, even though Skyrim has so much stuff, I like how I'm getting side quests while I'm saying those. Even though Skyrim has so much stuff to do and everything, you can never run out of things to do, right? Especially when you're waiting freaking, you know, 2 or 3 decades before another Elder Scrolls game releases. But adding in little things like this, where it's not really a quest, it's just a story, it adds so much more immersion and stuff into the world to make you sit back a little bit and make you kind of remember that, like, this is a very immersive and very detailed world. And even though this is a game and like all these are just scripted NPCs and stuff, these are characters with entire backstories, and like there's a whole world that's going on here, and you can immerse yourselves into these pretty, like, very, very deep stories and stuff. It's really cool. You are very purple. All right, well, we got to find ourselves into a way to Solstheim. So, hello.
For passage to Solstheim.
This is the first time that I've been on to Solstheim on this character. So.
Here we are. Welcome to Raven Rock.
All right, so we have made a. Let me see if I can find Slays Many Beasts. So we can find him. He should be somewhere by the docks, probably fishing or something. Although I might have to skip the time. By the way, if any of you download this after watching this video, obviously, I wouldn't suggest going back to back like I am. I'm just doing this purely for the video. But if you can't find Slays Many Beasts, then just wait 12 hours in the game, or like a couple days at most, and then he should appear. Oh, here he is. Found him.
I thought I saw you on that boat. Welcome.
What? Yo,
I
that's
thought I
cool.
saw
I wonder
you
if the
on that
dialogue
boat.
changes depending on if you've already been to this place or not. That's pretty neat. Have you been enjoying Raven Rock?
I believe anywhere is better than Windhelm, but it's warmer, and the locals don't look at me with such disdain.
Yeah, that's
Now,
fair.
I imagine you want to hear a story.
I do. I'm very curious to hear what other sea creatures there are. Because so far we've had giants on a ship, we've had sea serpents, and we've had sea drakes. But I want to know if there's like something crazy lurking down there. I suppose so.
You have heard this tale. So please, listen. It had been years since Allah died, and we'd just finished a job in Eleanor. As always, the pay was good, but we needed another contract. I'd heard tales of a monster plaguing Daggerfall, and so we set sail through the Abetian Sea. For a time, all was well, yet soon enough, the entire crew was abuzz and came to speak with me. They all said they'd had the same dream. Every night, they dreamt of the ocean below and saw miles of coral, shipwrecks, and bones. And then they were approached by a figure. They said flaps of rough, blue skin covered its impossibly fat body. Then each of them claimed they were all grabbed by the creature, and then they awoke.
For a second I was thinking of a Slode. That wouldn't make sense, because they're extinct. But then I'm also thinking back to that other quest mod that we did by the same mod author, where there was that Lovecraftian creature that was down below. I can actually see that. I can see them linking the two. That would be cool, but that would mean that there's more than just the one, which is kind of terrifying to think about, considering how serious the other situation was with that other mod. What do you think that they were dreaming of?
I don't know, but that is not what matters. Listen.
Okay, what happened next?
One of my men, had reported seeing shapes below the water, ones that shifted when the sun began to shine on it. I paid it no mind. I believed it to be a whale, but still my men continued to see it. They all said it was a shadowy figure, with no solid form, simply made up of twisting shapes. It was only days after, when it finally made itself known. I called for my crew to steer away from the creature, not wanting to anger it. No matter what I did, none of my men heard my call. They all remained motionless, gazing at the figure.
I'm so curious. I can't tell if this is linking back to the other quest mod, or if this is more like an octopus or something. Because it does have, like, the one from the last quest mod, it does have blue skin and everything, and I do remember something about the scales and stuff looked like they were constantly moving. So I guess they could transform or shift, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Stay silent.
Sensing the worst, I took a shot at the beast, and it screamed. It was not that of a whale, or a serpent, or a drake. It was otherworldly. I tried to shoot it again, but it had already begun its assault on the ship, and still, my men stared blankly at the water.
I wonder if the dreams affected them. What happened? How did you survive? Well, I guess he was the only one that didn't have dreams of whatever the thing was, right?
It continued its attack, and soon the ship began to sink. But still my men just stared. I kept firing at it, but it wouldn't stop. It ripped our hull to shreds. Water began to fill the lower deck, but still no one moved. Soon, our ship was engulfed in water, and as our hull sank under, it began to scream. In mere moments, we were all submerged, and still, I left them.
I mean, none of them were responding. They're all frozen, either in fear or being hypnotized by this thing, so not much you can do at that point. You had to, it's not your fault.
I tried to grab them, I did. I tried to save them. Stop that. I left them, and I swam until exhaustion gripped my body. I was taken in by a merchant's vessel. It is there where I told them my tale.
I'm going to assume they probably didn't believe him. So what was the creature?
Whatever that thing was, it's not of this plane. It stole the minds of each of my men and left them without function. I cannot share the waters with whatever that was. Never again can I do such a thing.
I'm really starting to think that it does link back to the breathing abyss, because it does make a lot of sense. The breathing abyss, even that creature, it didn't really strike fear into anybody, but it does have a sort of hypnotic kind of thing to it. Plus, it is not a native creature, or at least I don't think it is, of Tamriel. It is more, or of Nerd, not Tamriel, but it is something that was like summoned here, right? So I could definitely see that being the case, especially, again, with it being the same mod author. That's really cool if that is connected. So why did it leave you? Yeah, it left him alone, but it took everybody else.
The figure in those dreams did not come to visit me, and in the assault, my mind was still my own. I do not know or care for the reason. I simply wish for my crew to have lived.
Are you aware of if the creature's still out there?
It cannot be killed. I have no doubt of that.
I wonder if he can leave, though.
I fear for what may happen to the people of Alinor, and for the lives that beast will one day claim.
I'm sorry for all that's happened to you. Farewell.
Thank you. Please, just leave me be.
God, that voice acting is so good. This is really cool. I like the thought of this connecting to Breathing Abyss, especially if you have both of them installed and then you come across him before you actually do that whole thing, or like learn that story. That is a really cool kind of connection that's going on there. It is really dark. Guys, I'm struggling. I tried recording this outro 4 times already. I'm trying to record it in DaVinci Resolve because they let you do that, and it's not freaking saving. I don't know why it's not saving. But guys, that was the Whispers of the Depths. So I'm not going to go too in depth on my final thoughts just because I feel like I'll be repeating everything that I've already said in the video. But the 4 stories here were very interesting, and I definitely think that this would be a good fit for pretty much anybody's mod list. But if I did have to come up with any form of criticism here for whatever reason, I think that it could have been a cool idea to explore maybe some of the other creatures other than the sea drakes or the sea serpents, just because while those stories were still very good, they are 2 stories that don't really feel like they would be that surprising to hear from other sailors who have been sailing around Tamriel. So I just think that it might have been interesting to explore some other aspects of possible encounters, whether those encounters are paranormal or of some other Elder Scrolls sea creatures. But I also don't personally know the lore of Tamriel's oceans that well, so I don't really know what else could have been done here outside of maybe making up some, you know, something original. But still, either way, this is still pretty cool. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I know one massive complaint that I have here. You guys had the chance to name this mod Tales from the Depths, and you missed it. Probably only a few of you actually know what I'm referencing, but I mean, come on, that would have been great. But anyways, like I was saying, the story here is great, and the voice acting is surprisingly good. I feel like Argonians and Khajiits have to be pretty difficult to voice act, but somehow they managed to nail it here. I did really enjoy this quest mod, despite it, you know, not having any grand adventures for us to go on or any terrifying creatures, anything like that. It was all just story-based, but I still really enjoyed this one. So if you guys want some more videos like this one, then let me know by leaving me a comment or leaving the video a like, and maybe I'll go check out some other Nimwraith's mods soon, because it seems like they make a lot of mods like this. Also, I'll of course have links to this mod and the mod author's other mods down in the description for you guys to go check out. I definitely recommend checking them out because from the few mods that I have seen so far, they have been very well crafted and actually work really well as little immersive lore bits to bring just a little bit more storytelling to Skyrim. But anyways, that's going to be it for me for tonight, so I hope that you all enjoyed, and hope to see you all in the next video of whatever I make. Good night, guys.